It tells the story of Nandi and her friends growing up in a carefree KwaZulu-Natal and the fun involved in an age-old game. That's a beautifully illustrated children's book by first-time author Praline Hudson titled Nandi in KwaZulu. The book helps children learn about themselves and makes them feel like they belong. Well, Hudson, who's based in Barcelona, Spain, joins us now to tell us more about her latest book. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live. Give us a brief synopsis of what Nandi in KwaZulu is about and what's the inspiration behind the book.
Good morning. Good morning, Levo, and good morning, South Africa. It's such a pleasure to be here. You've given such an amazing synopsis of the book. Because that's exactly what Nandi is. And Nandi is about KwaZulu, which is where I'm from. And it's basically helping children to feel like they belong, because it's about our children in KwaZulu, our brown children in KwaZulu. So that is it. It's about an age-old game, like you say, and that's the basic idea behind Nandi. That what do children want? Children just want to belong. Children want to feel loved. Children want to play. That's what they do best. So yeah, that's the simple book, beautifully illustrated, like you say, and that's the general message.
What are some of the themes or subjects do you address in the book, and why are these worth highlighting?
The subjects that are addressed in the book is basically, it's a book about KwaZulu. A children's book for children aged between 3. The book could be read for children by their parents from 3 years old, and even before, if you like to read. And it can be read by children up to 7 years old, and of course the 5, 6, 7-year-olds could start reading the book by themselves. It uses very simple language, lots of onomatopoeias, so it's very sensory. The theme is basically so that the world can know about real cultures. So it's looking at the setting as KwaZulu. So it's looking at what life is like in KwaZulu-Natal. You see the animals of KwaZulu. You see the way of life, what people do in KwaZulu. So that is the message. The message is that let us learn about our world. So that is what I hope to do with Nandi, that the world sees what life is like in a real place in this planet.
And you say that, it's important that children see themselves, their ethnicity and culture reflected in the books they read. Why is that?
Because you want to feel like you belong. You want to see yourself represented everywhere. And what I myself found, I've got 3 daughters of my own, and like you mentioned, I live in Barcelona. I've been here in Barcelona for the last 28 years. So my children grew up in Barcelona, and what I found when I was reading to them is that we didn't have representation as Black people. And so my dream was to make that more widespread, and this is my contribution, that all children, irrespective of their ethnicity, should feel represented, whether it's in books, whether it's in the media, whether it is on billboards, whether it's in magazines. We all need to feel like we are part of this great planet that we are. And how can we do that if we see people who are like us being represented?
And you deliberately chose to write the book for children, aged between 0 and 7 years old. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yes, because that is our future. Children are our future, and that is where we need to be investing. I myself am an early years teacher. Montessori trained, and actually Montessori, this book is inspired also by my Montessori training. Montessori firmly believe that storytelling is important. We know that storytelling is basic. We should be reading to our children. It helps them to learn about the world. It helps them to learn about themselves, and it makes them lifelong readers, which is what we need, and that makes us lifelong learners as well. So Montessori said, through storytelling, we should be giving children a whole lot. And what is this about? Giving children, through storytelling, a little bit about themselves, a little bit about this planet of ours, and a little bit about our people. And that is why, because through children, we can do so much, you know?
And it's important to you that you contribute towards the diversity in children's literature. Tell us more about this and why this is so important for you.
It's important for me because I'm an early years teacher, and I know that the future is through our children. And, you know, with reading, Lebu, you get the parents involved as well. So like I say, this book was launched in Spain. It's being sold on Amazon. So it is widely read. And that's the idea that NANDI reaches all the corners of the globe. And while it's targeted at children, in many of the sectors, it's going to be read by parents. So it's a double. There's a double objective there, so that we can all learn about what we have in this amazing planet of ours.
Yeah, I'm curious. What does your daughters think of the book?
My children love the book. They, you know, funny enough. Thank God. But the reaction to the book has been amazing all around, you know. Like I say, this book was born many years ago in my mind that this is what I would like to do. And obviously it had to be set in where I am from, my beloved motherland. So my children loved it, and I was so happy by that reaction. My whole family loved it. And even the readers who are reading NANDI, who are buying NANDI now, they are so impressed. The illustrations are amazing. I must give that credit to Joel Calvo, a Catalan art illustrator. And they are real. They are quite real because, you know, I mean, with children's illustrations, we try to make them as simple as possible for the children. So they are simple, but they are quite real. And so, yes, the book is, I think, and I'm so happy that it is, I believe, and the people who have been able to communicate to me, we believe that it is a work of art. So, yeah, it's widely, so it's quite, the people are enjoying it.
Yeah. What lessons came with working on this book as a mom and as a Montessori trained teacher?
Wow. The biggest lesson, it's very humbling, number one, because you realize how many lives you can touch, and if it's in a positive way, it is quite overwhelming, Lebo. It's quite overwhelming, and that's one of the biggest lessons, you know, the humility, and number two, it's this desire that I have now to continue with the series. And the initial idea was, okay, let's see if we could make a series of these different aspects of NANDI's life in KwaZulu. And now I really feel that I should go ahead and do that because I'm liking the response.
Yeah.
You know, it's a labor of love, but it's so worth it. So I would like to continue with it.
All right, Praline, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations on the book. Say hi to the girls. Praline Hudson is the author of a new children's book titled NANDI in KwaZulu. The book tells the story of NANDI and her friends growing up in a carefree KwaZulu-Natal and the fun involved in an age-old game.